Welcome to the Sexy Freedom Media Podcast, a place to discuss pain, passion, and pursuits.
I want to feel alive.
Breathe.
Make some moves.
Protect the throne. This is Sexy Freedom Media Podcast.
Welcome, everybody, to the Sexy Freedom Media Podcast. It's your host, Helen Edwards, and
January Liddell. Aloha.
What's up, January?
I am so happy. Look. Check out my shirt if you are just listening on Spotify or iTunes, any of those platforms. I am wearing my Hug Life shirt. It's Care Bears. So there's 3 Care Bears that says Hug Life, and it's from Helen and Rob. So thank you so much for my awesome shirt. I love it.
You're welcome.
I'm excited about talking about our topic today. We're talking about expanders. Tell me why we were inspired.
So we were actually inspired by the podcast Powerhouse Women. And, I just shout out to Powerhouse Women. If you can look it up on Spotify or iTunes. But the idea of expanders are people in your life who help you expand and help keep you accountable because they themselves are expanding. And what I really enjoyed about it is this is a topic we've actually discussed over and over and over again, getting people in your life, surrounding yourself with like-minded. But what I really enjoyed about the word expander is that, one of the topics that she talked about is women who get jealous of other women. And that really spoke to me because it happens to all of us. We find ourselves comparing and just getting jealous. Like, why is that girl so successful? Like, I'm doing everything she's doing and she's taking off and I'm not. Like, what am I doing wrong? And what I enjoyed mostly was that she said, when you find yourself getting jealous, that means that's a sign that you need that woman or a like-minded woman at that woman's level in your life. You need expanders in your life.
I agree. So I'm going to, one, what I like about what you said is that, yes, I feel like women tend to be comparative to each other, which, not necessarily is a bad thing, but it can be. But I think for me, when I see a woman that is so successful, a woman that is thriving, a woman that is, for example, this woman I met yesterday, she is fucking amazing. Like, I don't even know how to explain this woman. Like, she's amazing. She's young. She is very detail oriented. She is very, she's beautiful woman inside and out. Right. Anyway, I see her. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's the boss babe vibes. Hello. When I saw Helen gives off that boss babe vibes. She gives off the I am successful woman vibes. And when I see that, I'm like, oh my gosh, I want her persona. So Helen, one of my expanders is you. Okay, so I wanna share the 4 expanders that that podcast. And I'm so sorry I forgot her name. But I love that podcast because it is about women entrepreneurs. So here are the 4 people who show what's possible. Okay, 4 unique kinds of expanders. Number one that normalizes my wildest dreams. Helen, you are that person. So you are the one who normalizes my wildest dreams. Number 2, someone who normalizes my fears and my challenges. Number 3, somebody who normalizes my growth and ambition. And number 4, someone who normalizes my success and celebrates with me. So those are the 4 unique kinds of expanders. And what I love about what Helen mentioned is that when you are feeling that tinge of jealousy about another woman, another person, that's probably the person that you need to cling on to because that person has reached a particular level that you may want to reach, which is why you're feeling a tinge bit jealous. So maybe instead of seeing that person in a negative view or seeing that person with stink eye, as we like to call it here in Hawaii, then see that person in a different perspective, change that story and say, you know what? She's got what I want. I need to learn from her and see what she has done so I can copy what she did so I can get to her level.
Yes, I love that you mentioned all four of the types of expanders because there is a difference between your friends in your life and then the expanders in your life. And oftentimes expanders become friends, which is great, but not always are your friendships expanders. And that's okay because all of us have different types of friends. But when it comes to business and your goals, you must have expanders in your life. In fact, what was that law that we just got done hearing about? Law of atrophy? Can you, am I
Oh,
saying that right?
law of entropy. Entropy?
I believe it's the law of. I'm all, where's my notes? I should have had it prepared when I was going to
We
say this.
learned a lot this past week from
I know.
Kathy Heller to I'm doing 30K in 30 day with Wendy. She's amazing. So shout out to Wendy if she's hearing this podcast. We learned from Danny's Extreme One Elite Group, Excellent Elite Group with Rowell. So thank you, Rowell, for teaching us, giving us value. And of course, I've learned from just a whole bunch of people this week. It's pretty amazing.
Okay, it is called the law of entropy. Anything left to itself, you will move closer and closer to disorder. What I love about this is that if it is a law, anything left to itself, anything by itself, and it often happens when we find ourselves lonely, right? Or when we feel like we have friends around us who are not helping us grow, but maybe holding us back or keeping us stagnant. Law of entropy. So this was included into our business coaching about success, follow the laws of success. Well, law of entropy really spoke to me hand in hand with having expanders in your life, because when you do have expanders in your life, you're not left alone to your own disorder, where you find yourself like, how do I do this? How do I do this? How do I do this? Oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? When you have expanders, you go to them and they're almost like mentors. They're just a little bit different because they actually want to help you and say, what's up? How's your day? Like January said, I'm an expander to her. She's actually an expander to me because we thrive on each other's energy. We go to each other when we have questions. We reach out when we need help. I mean, it encompasses everything in expansion, which is awesome. I'm just saying.
So let me tell you, because I love the energy, and we talk about energy a lot on our podcast, and energy is vital in anything that we do. What I think about entropy and I think about these mentors, I look at them as coaches. So they are my coaches, and coaches that will cheer me on, coaches that want more from me than for them themselves. So, as you all know, Helen and I are both financial strategists. We're both helping people with their retirement plans and other financial services that we can provide. I and Helen are both free agents, which means that we're able to go with different groups in order to see which one would benefit our clients. And I love that. And the reason why I love what I'm doing is because now, not only do I have one coach, I have three coaches. So I have three amazing coaches that I can go to and ask for help and ask for, hey, how can I process this? And it's so empowering because these particular expanders in my life have already reached a certain level that I want to get to. And so I love that when you add these people, right? When you think about who are the expanders that are going to normalize your wildest dreams? Who are your expanders that are going to normalize your fears and your challenges? Who are your expanders that are going to normalize your growth and ambition? And who are your expanders that are going to normalize success and celebrate with you? And I'm excited about all of these because there's so much going on. Go ahead. I know you have something to say.
I get so excited about this topic and this subject because I have so many expanders in my life. And actually, many of them are some of my best friends, including you. And the women I've surrounded myself with are like-minded, like attracts like. Even the men that are in my life are, very goal-oriented, or they're workers. Like Rob, my fiance, soon-to-be husband, says, I'm a worker. Like I get shit done. And I love that because when I'm, he talks a little bit different than we talk with the words like manifesting, magic, and like attracts like. He's more like, Uh-huh. Okay, well, get it done. It's just like cutthroat. But he is my biggest cheerleader. And I love that what you said, normalize it. Because there are people that you're going to go to with your most wildest dreams. Like one of mine is I really believe that my book, Nothing Sexier Than Freedom, is going to be a movie one day. I don't know if it's going to happen while I'm still alive. I hope so. But I know, like I know in my heart, it is going to become a movie. And people around me are like, oh, yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Like they believe too. And it makes me feel like even more grounded into my own belief of it. And when you believe something, it has to manifest itself to happen. It just has to.
You know what I was just thinking? I was thinking about a container, right? And I'm thinking about a container because when you're in a container and you're stuck in this container, right? Um, you're kind of like trapped. But when people are overflowing your container and just keep on like pouring and pouring into you, that container has to get larger, which is the whole idea of expansion. Once you have all these people that that allow you to see the possibility and to show you that yes, you can, then that container has to grow even bigger. And the more that you add more expanders in that life, but in particular, right? You continue to, it just keeps on growing. And I'm really excited about this year because I can feel this energy, and I can't even explain the energetic like vibration that I'm feeling, but it feels fucking amazing. I'm just like, oh, I don't know what it is, but I
I'm
think this is
totally with you on that.
right. I think it's like everything that we're learning, and highly, highly suggest if you are not doing any personal development at this moment, please get into something. There are so many free things out there. I mean, hello, we just did Kathy Heller. That's a 5-day free of getting your energy and, raising that vibration inside of you. It's kind of like the way I see it. An analogy is that if you're at a sporting event, right? If you're at a sporting event, I mean, you're not just gonna sit there. You're not gonna just sit there and be like, okay, that's good. That's good. No, when you're at a sporting event, when you're at a concert, you're like, okay, let's go, let's go. And there's this something inside you, I don't even know what it's called, adrenaline, energy, whatever it is, but it just pumps you up. It's the same that goes for business. It's the same that goes with relationships. You gotta just have that energy pumping. I'm really excited about this topic. Can you tell?
Yes, I am too. But even though we are going to make this a little bit of a shorter podcast, I just want to leave our listeners with something. If you're wondering, how do I find expanders? Okay, I can tell you what I did because I know what I do can work with anybody. So, one of the things, and I've mentioned this before in our other episodes, is join Facebook groups because you have more of an ability to reach out and connect with like-minded. So women's groups, whether you're an entrepreneur or you love your job and you want to grow in your career, join those specific interests, those specific groups, and then just start start commenting on people's posts first. So that way, you build some rapport, and then, ask if I can reach out to you, because some people are really apprehensive about strangers reaching out to them. They don't want sales. They don't want to feel, they get this little like guard up, which is totally normal with all the hackers and spammers out there. So, first of all, you can do that. Second of all, you can invite somebody to a Zoffy. It's a Zoom plus a coffee. It's 15 minutes, 10 minutes, even 30 minutes to just connect with somebody and see if the vibe is there. I do it all the time. I freaking love it. Some people, that's our last time we ever talked. Some people were like, oh my God, we're like friends. We're going to talk more throughout the year. So that's a way to find expanders. Not everybody's going to respond back to you, and that's okay. Just keep going after somebody that you say to yourself, I love that energy. I love what they're doing. I actually want to do what they're doing, and I have questions on how to do it. And, just keep doing it because the right door will open and it's going to be amazing.
Ooh, I like those tips. So Facebook and Zoffy. And actually that's how Helen and I met, is because I just thought she was amazing. I'm like, I need to meet this woman. And so I think just making new friends too. And it's hard, to put yourself out there, especially if you're an introvert. But if you are an introvert and an entrepreneur, then you definitely have to like step out of that comfort zone. I'm sure all of you know that. But it's definitely an opportunity to expand. And so, gosh, we can talk on and on about this. I maybe we need to do a part 2.
I think we do. But so this is part 1 for now.
All right, everyone. You can find me, January Liddell on LinkedIn, VIP Finance Builders on Facebook and Instagram. And, I'm very accessible. You can find me all over the internet. Just put in my name and you'll find me. Helen, where can we find you?
I love that. Well, you can Google me and I'll come right up too. Because I'm the author of Nothing Sexier Than Freedom. You can get my book on Amazon, Audible, online at Barnes & Nobles. I believe it's in a few stores, Fort Collins in Colorado and Cheyenne, Wyoming. So yes, you can click the link below. If you want to support our show, you can buy us a coffee. We love coffee. And please share, subscribe. If this or any of our episodes have brought any inspiration or empowerment to you. And if you, again, are looking for any type of financial services, reach out to me in January. We have your back. And click the link and go from there. Thanks, everybody.
Want to hear more?
Visit us at sexyfreedommedia.com.